Welcome back to another episode of Area 50.9, just short of the truth. That means it's Friday night at 9 p.m. As always, right beside me, my co-host, the great Spike McCulley. What's happening, Spike?
Not much, man. The great. You guys remember that shit.
The great Spike McCulley. And also, as always, right down here, our other co-host, Marco. What's happening, pal?
What up, what up, what up?
So this week, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to bring out our host. You guys are going to chat him up, and I'm going to go figure out where we're streaming to and try to share some stuff out.
Our host. Thought you were the host. Or is
our other, I'm sorry, our guest for the night.
What the fuck is happening?
Before I bring the guest up, you guys have anything you want to chat about? Anything weird happened this week?
For me?
For anybody? Anything weird? Anything supernatural? Anything strange?
A lot of interdimensional child molesters on this side. I've been keeping my eyes out. You know what I mean? I gotta have the goggles on all the time.
Interdimensional child molesters. Okay.
I feel like we just hit a Mandela effect where Spike and I are on somebody else's show instead of somebody being on our show.
Right.
That might be the case.
It's a pod swap.
As we do sometimes find in our travels, as comedians and entertainers, we come across other folks that are just as deranged as we are. And they have their very own conspiracy theories and or wild and zany thoughts. This week's guest is just one of those people. He's my friend, Epic, from the Epic Radio Show.
Hey, what up? What's crack-a-lacking? Or lack of cracking? Whatever you want to say.
We don't do crack. It's a retro drug.
That's a retro drug? So what's new? Like, what's hip? What's the drug that's in right now?
Adderall, yeah. They done brought the Adderall back.
That really lets you know the state of the country that you're living in when you're driving around and there's signs like, just say no to heroin and big billboards to fentanyl.
Yeah. We miss the crackheads around here, man. At least a crackhead, you throw them a pork chop at $20. You get your car washed, your fucking lawn cut.
They were productive.
Yeah. Yes. Fucking heroin actress.
That was the backbone of this country.
Yeah, for the 90s, from the early 90s to the early 2000s. Crackheads was the Mexicans of the bunch.
They were the brown collars. That's what they call them.
Brown collar workers.
Yes. Yep. They'll do anything for $20 in a pork chop, right? That's
it.
Yeah.
And then we took for granted them losing a tooth or two. You see these meth heads these days?
And I always said that if they wanted to capitalize on crack, all they had to do was get with the ADA. Right? Fluoride and crack. Bam. Man. If 8 out of 10 dentists recommend it, it can't be that bad.
Oh, yeah. Not only are you killing your brain cells, you're killing your pineal gland.
All right, absolutely. Since Epic brought it up, what do you guys think about the fluoride conspiracy?
I used to work in a water department. I know that shit's not good.
Well, you're talking about the whole mind control thing.
Well, just that it's supposed to make you docile and that America consumes like 3/4 of the world's fluoride consumption.
I mean, do you feel docile?
I don't take fluoride.
What about you? You don't drink tap water?
Man, if it's any kind of liquid, it's usually kind of alcohol based.
Well, what if they put...
But fluoride is actually a byproduct of some other chemical that they couldn't get rid of. And I don't know how it ended up in our fucking toothpaste, but it's there and in our water.
But if you
it did not end up in our crack.
If you go back through time, they used to give you fluoride like back when we still had what do they call them before they were mental health institutions?
Asylums.
Crazy wards.
Nut houses.
Back when people still went crazy, fluoride was one of the things that they would prescribe you to keep you calm.
Interesting.
That is interesting. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Well, I'm sure in big doses, you know what I mean? but I don't
How
think
often
that
do
there's
you
enough
drink?
in the water.
You ever see a line of cocaine? That ain't a very big dose.
Yeah, what's a gallon? You're supposed to consume a gallon of water a day.
Yeah.
You do that every day. That's 365 gallons a year.
Okay.
I
don't think they're docile.
I feel like that would be a lot and probably enough to alter somebody's chemicals. Like, I believe this is one of those conspiracy theories where I'm in on this. Like,
yeah, you're
I
in on
really
it. You're like putting the fluoride in the water. Is that what you're saying?
I really do believe that they would put the fluoride in the water to keep you docile. That way, as long as your cable and your
I don't
air
think it's
conditioning
helping.
stays on, you don't ever get fucking
There's
mad
a lot
about
of
it.
crazy people out there. I don't think it's working. They need to up that shit a little bit.
Maybe those are the ones. Maybe those are the ones that took the right fucking pill, man.
Maybe.
I think big cocaine would be against.
Yeah.
Maybe all these crazy. Here's a fucking conspiracy theory for you.
Okay.
Epic.
Yeah.
Maybe all these crazy mass shootings that are happening, like we're the ones on the fluoride walking around like the sheep, and those guys are the 12 monkey guys trying to fucking stop some horrific future. We don't know.
Yeah, by shooting high school kids. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that kid's John Connor.
Kill John Connor. Yeah.
Maybe that was John Connor.
Hey, anything's possible. What if conspiracies were created by the government to keep us talking about all the shit that could be happening instead of fighting the government?
Spike will handle this one. Where did the word conspiracy get coined at?
The CIA. The CIA can. The CIA.
Well, there you go. Then
coined the term conspiracy theory just to throw you off the track of them selling drugs, guns, and fucking little kids.
That's sweet.
Well, it's what is it? What's the acronym? It's fucking like drugs.
Somebody said the CIA is your friend. Who's that?
The gun run, the gun running, the underage child fucking sex trafficking ring.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What else do they really do? Dealing information and spies. I mean, just the nature of the beast there let you know that it's shady off the rip. You have to be successful spy, dude. You cannot be like the, hey, I'm the down-to-earth church dad that cooks hot dogs and always tells the truth if you're going to be a fucking spy. It doesn't work.
That would be
American Dad.
That would be the best way to hide, though, right? In plain sight. Yep, absolutely. That's exactly the type of
cover, I think he means your realistic, real self can't be that person.
Yeah.
Are you guys analyzing the Winter Soldier?
Motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. It doesn't have to be. But I feel the same way about celebrities. Like, think about this. If you're constantly diving deep into other people's characters, dude, that means you never have your own. So you end up fucking nuts like Tom Cruise and John.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But how many actors or actresses do you think are spies for the government?
Chuck Berry. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Check the movie out. Based on his book.
I think Jim Carrey is a spy.
For those of you that don't know, Chuck Barris was a TV producer. He came up with the Dating Show, the Gong Show, and a few other things. In fact, he was the weirdo host of the Gong Show. Supposedly, when he was taking these people on dates to foreign countries, he was spying for the United States government and killing other spies.
Mm-hmm.
Check out the movie Confessions of a Dangerous Mind if you haven't seen it yet.
I have not seen that.
Based on the book that he claimed is all true.
And
Chuck Barris claims it.
Chuck Berry?
Chuck Barris.
Oh, I was like Chuck Berry killing people and shit.
Already.
He's slaying with the lyrics and slaying with the ladies and then slaying with the government. Yeah, okay. That's what's up.
But you don't think that they use celebrities to sway opinions the way they want them to?
Oh, of course. I mean, it happens every year. I mean, this celebrity endorses this candidate. You don't think they don't get paid for that shit? Of course they do.
So you don't think that at any point there'd be any crossover to any lines of that work?
I'm sorry?
Like a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, we'll put you on type situation. Like everyone gets a big break. What if a lot of these people's big breaks were you were picked because you're a shitty person? We know you'll do the shitty job we want you to do.
I mean, if that was true, Michael Copenhaver would be first in line, right? No? He's frozen. What's going on?
He's frozen.
I am frozen.
Okay.
I'm looking around. I'm looking around to see where we're.
I thought you were stoic there. I thought you were about to snap at me.
I think what's going to happen here is we're going to have to re-release this at a later date because we are not streaming anywhere right now.
Yeah, no, I've been checking it myself.
I shared it to everybody, and it's just an empty thing with no goddamn link. So I don't know what the fuck's happening. But we can drop it later. So honestly, I was kind of tuning you out while I was what the fuck are you doing? You've been a great guest so far, though. Very interesting. Riveting stories. Riveting.
Oh, fucking great.
I just heard I would be the first in line or something like that, and then I thought, okay, they're talking to me. I better come back in. You're like, he's frozen. I was like, no, I'm here.
Yeah, let it go.
Let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
No. So listen, no.
So Mike is a piece of shit.
Yeah, basically is what I was saying. Yeah, because we were saying that like they come to like regular people who will basically sell their souls to do like their bidding. I'm like, well, if that was true, then Michael Copenhaver would be first in line, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, what about Reggie Jackson back in the day? They had him washed, and he was supposedly, had a snap word to go kill somebody. He was supposed to assassinate somebody.
Yeah, Cold Soldier.
The Winter Soldier.
You'd say like roast beef, and the motherfucker would start snapping necks and had this program to kill like.
Maybe he just had a bad experience at Arby's. I don't know. Shit.
The Winter Soldier, the ultimate.
It's like, God damn it! It's a beef and cheddar. I'm gonna kill some motherfuckers. No, okay.
What if it's like a?
I want to.
Marco, you've been pretty quiet tonight. What do you have to think about any of these things?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No, he's been talking like
that. Yeah, you just ain't been listening. You zoned me out too.
The whole fluoride thing that was all him. Yeah.
No, Epic and I had a whole fucking damn near a half-hour conversation. You were supposedly there.
I don't know. I don't know what you were doing, man. You were dazing and looking into Darth Vader's eyes and shit. Like,
yeah, see that Vader got the kung fu grip.
I don't know which one would be saying I'm your father. I don't know. Like going on. Yeah. Go on Maury. Shit.
You call me father because your mother calls me daddy.
That's right.
I want to hear the Amazon fucking plastic company conspiracy with the COVID.
You can't talk about that right now, but that's next week's episode.
Oh fuck! He had. What was you had a different conspiracy?
This guy has a pet conspiracy, and I'm really excited to talk about this.
I wanna explain though that
Do
when
not preface any of this, just no. There's no prefacing. Fuck you. I want to hear your harebrained idea. No preface, no prep. Just lay your thoughts out bare for us.
No, what I was gonna refer to our message earlier. That's all. So he had asked me if I had any pet conspiracies, right? So I start talking about pet food, right? And he wasn't actually talking about like animals. He was just talking about like my favorite conspiracy. But I thought he was actually that's kind of oddly specific, right? Like he happens to know that I have yeah.
Not only is it oddly specific, but you're like, as a matter of fact, I do have a pet conspiracy. And as soon as you laid it out, I was like, I fucking love that.
So I don't know if you've ever, walked through like a grocery aisle, right? But if you notice on a lot of grocery aisles, you got the baby aisle right across from the pet food aisle. And my theory is that the dog food and the baby food is made in the same place. Yes. I mean, think about it.
I think that's plausible. I think that's fucking plausible.
But there's not a lot of crunchy baby foods.
They're not.
That's more of
But
a paste. So I think are you saying that they just take the dog food across the aisle, grind it to a paste, throw some banana flavoring in it, boom, it's banana now. Throw
I think that
carrot flavoring in it, bam, it's carrots now.
I think one, obviously, most people that have pets either have kids or people that have kids have pets. Yeah, there's a lot there. So that I think part of it's kind of a marketing thing. But I think that like I think that the food that they're grinding up to put in baby food is the same food that they grind up and put in dog food. It's like the leftover shit that doesn't make the cut.
It's like the hot dog of the baby food.
Yeah, basically. It's like the fucked up shit that they messed up on. Like, oh man, we ran out of baby like the banana flavoring on this one. It tastes like shit. Wait, you know who will eat this? Dogs.
Dogs will eat anything if it comes off.
You know what I'm saying?
Plate.
I mean, they eat their own shit.
You could pretend to be eating a piece of shit off of a plate, lay it on the floor, and a dog will go nuts for it.
Oh, for sure.
Dude,
So,
I opened my cat, like I got cats, and this is making me think of this. You know, I opened their cat food today, and that sure the fuck did look like some baby food.
Spike,
no, especially the stuff in the cans. You know, the wet
peel open,
dog, yeah.
And then I got my little dogs has that pedigree in the pouches, and you open those got peas in them. I mean, the baby food got peas and carrots. You could be right. He got something going on there.
I'm telling you,
something going on there, man.
I mean, they don't want to waste all that food. They want to make profit, right? So what's a better way to earn the most profit than to make something else with it?
Yeah.
Pet your baby.
I mean, your kid don't know.
Nope.
And that kid can't tell you it's nasty.
Have you ever eaten baby food? Except for the fruit flavored stuff, the other shit tastes like garbage. Yeah. I would never eat that. Think about it. It tastes like pet food.
Man, and I help out at a shelter. Some of that pet food smells good, but that baby food smells like shit.
It does. It smells horrible.
But I've never eaten a piece of dog food in my life.
I have.
Spike.
I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Okay,
hey,
so
I like
here, non-dog food eaters down there. Garbage people.
You don't know what the struggle's like, motherfucker.
Hey, I don't know if you remember the 80s, but Cocoa Puffs was around, and a lot of the dog food looked just like Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
So you would fucking go like you're a kid, and like you're fucking 4, and then you see this shit on the ground, you think, oh, it's a Cocoa Puff. 5-second rule. Fuck no, dude. You eat that shit and you're like, ugh, man. I think the Cocoa Puffs are expired.
As a parent, I can tell you, I've watched my kids do it and let them do it because it's fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. You throw a couple of like
the baby.
you throw one of the ones that look like the meat chunks, like, oh, grab that jerky.
So what I'm hearing is a very nature versus nurture thing here. Like some people are just genetically disposed to picking shit up off the floor and putting it in their mouth.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I still do it, dude. 5-second rule, bro. I'll be making a salad. Carrot hits the floor. Like, fuck it. I'll eat that shit. I don't give a fuck. I know who's been on my floor. I don't got dogs. They ain't shitting on my floor.
Shit, me and my dogs fight over something I dropped.
You're like, give that back.
I got a dog with no teeth that'll maul the fuck out of you.
How? He just gum you?
Yeah, and dude, you feel like you just got hit by Slimer.
Ew.
Like you just caught a money shot from a bukkake from hell.
Oh, I got slimed. Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. We're just feeding them and child abuse begins. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Okay, let's let's retract some. So, I doubt that the baby food leftovers are what's getting put into dog food.
Then it's vice versa. Then.
Hey, and one thing that to top off the whole conspiracy, the original Gerber baby was Nixon, and he was like the god of mindfuck.
There you go. Right.
I'm just.
Yeah, I would love to Google this shit. I've never actually looked this up. This is a thought that I've always had. I guarantee you, if you Google this shit, some of the shit is probably right, dude. Like, do they use baby food to make dog food? I bet it comes up, man. I bet it does.
I mean, hell, if they're using cats and dogs in Vietnam, I'm sure they'll use hooves and snout and the baby food over here.
It's not that. It's impractical because the two buildings can't be combined. You have to stage them up. Dude, I work in
Take this next door.
I work in the food industry because of allergens and the different shit that's involved in each of the foods. They have to be separated depending on what it is. It's part of the FDA rules to operate in this country. I'm not saying it's in other countries they're not doing exactly what he's talking about. But in this country, automatic weapons don't add inches to your dick. They just carry a federal sentence.
And where do you think most of this shit's packaged at? You think it's done here?
China.
Is it
the
food?
Philippines, Holmes?
Well, let me ask you this. Is it food? Are we talking food still?
Yeah.
Because if it's food,
well,
is one of the things that's manufactured and packaged here because it's cheaper than shipping it over for the most part.
But at the same time,
FDA restrictions are different in a lot of other countries.
But FDA also will allow a certain amount of stuff to happen for food. All right,
there's like a certain amount of snout you can have in that Gerber.
Yeah, I mean, even mice feces.
There's so much cockroach you're allowed to have.
You know what I'm saying?
Human flesh.
Even pus and milk.
Again, I work in that industry, so I'm not going into detail like that.
What's that?
But I will say you're not wrong. There is a margin.
Yeah, there's a margin because I read this, right? So what they do is, they're pumping milk from these cows all the time, and they get infected by the nipples, right? And the first offense of these cows is to produce pus. It's white blood cells.
Get rid of the dead cells, yeah.
Yeah, and some of it gets into the milk.
So you better hope that shit is pasteurized.
And that's the argument. That's why they say they're allowed to do it, because it gets pasteurized and 99%, but they're still they did tests and they're still like, I mean, it's like 0.001 or something, you know what I mean? But it's still in there though, yeah.
They should capitalize on this and just have a whole product called pussy milk.
Yeah.
Pussy juice.
I think this is weird anyways, but like I don't understand why we drink cow's milk anyways. We're the only.
It's convenient.
We're the only. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but it's not really healthy. Most people are allergic to it.
If we could be sucking a titty from a human chick right now,
hey, I'm
sucking a titty from a human chick right now.
Yeah,
but we can't, so we use the cow.
Okay.
But I love the.
That's exactly what it is.
So again, we're gonna digress.
Can you imagine? Wait a minute. Can you imagine the first person who came up with that?
Before you rein this in, Ben and Jerry's about 5 or 6 years ago proposed making a line of Ben and Jerry's ice cream a flavor out of breast milk, human breast milk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, it tastes like cereal milk.
Okay,
take it away, Clay.
So about
breast milk is sweeter.
The cows, to keep the cows milking, if you don't milk the cows daily, it actually hurts the cows and can injure the cow. So they have to be milked. If you notice the blister on your cow most of the time, you don't put the deal back on them to milk. You just hand milk off into a bucket. Moving past that, again, it's pasteurized. and Marco, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how in any fucking
I mean, it's
realm-
pasteurized, but there's still a small percentage that the FDA will allow there for it to be in the milk.
Well, because they have to. You
That's
know how
not
many
even a
thousands-
conspiracy. That's literal
Here,
science.
you want the real conspiracy on milk?
Yeah.
How in the fuck is your milk $2.50 a gallon and a fucking 2 liter of Pepsi's $2 when one's an animal that you have to feed, milk,
Yeah.
raise, and provide antibiotics for, and keep all the equipment around to keep it clean and happy, producing milk and healthy enough to do so? How in the fuck does that work when you live in a country that was built by fucking farmers, sir? And
Yeah.
they've done nothing but bend them over and fuck them to where the big corporations control now your food, your government, your water, and they're trying to control your air.
That's because they make Pepsi and milk at the same place.
Some chemicals. Pepsi is actually milk pus.
Yeah.
The burn.
Oh my
Burn
god.
They
Fazio
dyed
drinks
it.
milk
burn,
with
yep.
it.
Gotta love that burn.
I think Spike's Inner Amish came out.
No, that's the real. Figure that out. Do the math on that. How does that work? It's basically
Well, I
it's
mean,
basically like
obviously-
GameStop hedge fund shit on milk for the small farmer.
Obviously that the farmers have always been getting raped. You know what I mean? Because like that's why they're constantly doing stuff to try to bail them out of shit because they've tried to keep the prices low on all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've been taking the corn dick for the longest time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should just keep happening. You're right.
I mean, it's the same thing. You know, the earth is what 80%
Prediction,
fucking
damn
water, but you're
We
paying
shit on the
$2-3
farmer.
for a bottle of water.
Well, what did they say? Like only like 20% of the land is farmable. Is that something like that? Like in the whole world?
That was an old theory, but I think that's a theory.
That doesn't
I mean,
sound right.
You can fucking grow weed in sand, so I'm sure you can grow.
Well,
know,
not
you
all
know,
crops can grow everywhere, though. I mean, look
I
at
understand.
potatoes, you know, some plants and vegetables need, like, you know, like actually potatoes, one of the good ones. They can grow in harsh environments. That's why they grow in like Russia.
What do you need for a
shit
cow?
like that.
Grass.
Go ahead and say it.
Yeah,
Go
well,
ahead and say it, Epic. Go ahead and say it. They grow
What's
in
that?
I don't know, Ireland. Go ahead.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
take
true
your-
too. Obviously,
Take your big shit.
A lot of potatoes in Idaho.
a lot
yeah.
of potatoes in Idaho.
And
the
the weather's
bastard.
not very good there either all the time.
It's a
Because-
hardy
Yeah.
tuber.
They got a lot of shitty gingers there who get drunk.
Get on the Irish guy again.
Actually, I was thinking Russia because of vodka.
Get on the
The
Irish
potatoes.
guy.
I really was, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, so I wasn't actually going to the racist part of it with the Ireland and the potato, but
Yeah.
it does grow there.
Okay. I wrote it
And I'm
down.
sure,
Irish
I'm sure it grows in
around here.
Scotland too.
I wrote it now.
That's funny.
Hey, we're almost to the halfway point. Let's plug our sponsors real quick. We want to always thank our friends at Eargasm Comedy Network, Ryan Weiss and the gang, Alexa, Cole, everybody over there, just great folks, and they're making all sorts of funny comedy all over Northeast Ohio. And just check them out at Eargasm Comedy on Facebook and YouTube. As always, we want to plug our good friends at FNP Productions, Funny Noises Productions. That's our buddy Chris Kettler, making comedy all over Northeast Ohio, Western Pennsylvania. Who knows where he's going next? So check out FNP. They're on Facebook, and I believe they've got Twitter and other social medias. Just look for them.
Comedy's so funny, it'll make you FNP.
FNP.
That's right.
Mhm. And Epic, why don't you tell? Wait, before we let Epic plug himself and what he does.
Oh man, I can't wait to plug myself.
We don't have the new graphic yet, gang, but we always want to thank our good friends at Peach and Honey Anal Lube. Peach and Honey Anal Lube.
Peach and
Sponsor
Honey
from the beginning.
Ain't no lube.
Now in fun size. But that's all of our sponsors. Now back to you, Epic. What do you do? Where do you do it? And how do they find it?
All right. So I am the host of the Epic Radio Show. You can find us basically everywhere. Fucking iHeart, Spotify, Amazon Music Unlimited, Fire Stick. You can look us up on the Fire Stick and see all of our past episodes. Pretty much everywhere. But more importantly, you can go to theepicradioshow.com and you could find all the places I just tried to list horribly. We're on live every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for your viewing pleasure on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Follow us at The Epic Radio Show. It's pretty easy.
I understand you got a really big. I understand you got a really big time guest coming on this Sunday.
No, I got you. You're actually going to be on our show Sunday. Michael Copenhaver, yes. And you're going to be joining our newest co-host, Alexa Irizarry, who is also part of Eargasm Comedy. Yep, and I my wife Ashley is a co-host, and got Jay Val and Larry Brazil will be on the show, so it's going to be a full cast. Be fun.
Marcus will be with you for a while.
Oh, no, he's on call this week.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, so he just we rotate cast and everything. So
cool.
Yep.
So tune in and watch.
Yes.
This will be my second appearance. I'm really excited. I get to actually come to the studio this time.
Yeah, last time it had to be like video, kind of like this. And actually, I think it was just audio back then. I don't even think we were doing video podcast.
No, you had video.
We had video, but you weren't on video, right?
Yeah, I couldn't be. I was driving.
Yeah, so it was just audio only. So you'll be in the studio with us. You'll be helping us co-host. And we have a wide range of topics we're going to talk about.
Awesome. I cannot wait. So make sure you watch on Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
But what's going on? Where are we?
I'm trying to figure out the conspiracy of how Mike can fit so many wide range of things up his ass to spew out day after day and show after show. But as
what goes in your butt?
Yeah.
Well, he takes a lot of big shits.
No. We'll dive back into this dog food, baby food theory.
Okay.
If that's where we're going with it.
I mean, it's not even a theory. It's just a wild accusation.
Yeah,
I'm like Nancy Grayson this shit right here.
I'm sitting here and I'm stewing it over. I'm really giving it thought, Epic. And I'm thinking, like, even if
that's a good word to use. A good phrase. Stewing it over. Because I believe they make stew out of dog food too. But that's fine.
Probably.
Yeah. If you look at like the Dollar General brand,
yes, absolutely.
I'm coming to terms with it to where it's like, even if they are okay,
yeah.
Who gives a shit? Seriously, do you give a fuck if you're 1 year old that can't?
No, they're not gonna remember that shit. I don't remember.
Oh fuck,
being a baby and eating any baby food,
dude. You'll eat shit.
You get what you get.
Wait a minute, guys. Check this shit out.
Okay.
So I just started typing in dog food baby, and I was gonna say baby food. And before I even got food out, second thing that comes up, dog food, baby food proof.
Okay. So are the babies in the dog food? Because that's when this started. That's where I thought we were going, is that they were grinding the babies up in the dog food.
This ain't the
when it didn't take that
master.
turn, I was sadly disappointed. So now the topic: what if they're grinding babies up and putting them in this dog food? What if it's stem cell dog food and you gain like fucking super abilities by eating it? That's why your dog runs and jumps so high.
If that was true, then I don't know. I think half the politicians would be doing that, right?
How do you know they're not? They probably do it in small lines off of mirrors and a fucking limo. Like,
Yeah, baby bones. Yeah,
you
They're
ready to
grinding
go
baby
fuck
bones,
more
just sorting
civilians
that
out of
shit
your
off a
plane?
mirror.
Yeah.
All right. Look,
Yeah.
this is one of the things that's caught my eye so far. Look, it says, now,
Buy
I don't
me
even
lizard
know
food.
why would you even ask this question? Is dog food safe for babies? And the answer was, dry pet food, especially dog food, is a choking hazard for young children, like coins, magnets, and hard candy and toys. Dry pet food should be kept away from infants and toddlers because it attracts them. Now, I don't know whether it's the food or whether it's because it looks like a toy or whatever, but it seems to be marketed towards children if this is happening and they left it that way.
That's because it was originally marketed for children, and it tasted horrible, so they gave it to dogs.
I think I think when it stumbled across us, there's gonna be fucking black vans out in front of each and every one of our houses.
Yeah, they figured it out, man. We gotta do something about this. CIA, fuck.
Big
Having
dog
raised both
food and big
dogs
baby
and
food are gonna
children.
be outside, man, fucking us up.
Having raised both dogs and children, really I think I can pin it out that dogs are just crazy kids that need Ritalin.
Yeah. Agree. But I swear to God, if Alpo was outside my house a little later, I don't know why.
The chuck wagon's
Better
gonna be out.
have your gun next to you when you go take out the trash.
It's going to be the guy on the chuck wagon stagecoach.
You get drowned in a bowl of gravy train.
Yeah. I'll have Chuck Berry knocking at my door and shit.
I don't even think you'll get a chance to meet somebody. I think it'll be like you walking out to get like the groceries or some shit. You just get hit with a dart in the neck and fall the fuck over.
Just get attacked by a bunch of cats.
Hey,
Yeah. Like you
pop the milk.
Like man gets shot in the head with a can of dog food or some shit. I don't know.
Somebody just stuck a can right in your
Show
head.
up with a fucking slingshot and sling some dog food cans at you.
Hillary's gonna have to do like 9 press conferences, bro. Like, I didn't do this one. I swear to God, I had nothing to do with this.
He was a known advocate of pussy milk.
Yeah. You know, I had to figure out how pussy was actually spelled. I kept spelling pussy. I don't know.
The exactly right way.
I can say that I've been
It's
a
not
fan
spelled
of
the
the
same way.
before. A connoisseur of the pussy, maybe.
But not pussy, hopefully.
No, not pussy. Pussy is that's why I was saying pussy juice, because pussy milk that just gives bad thoughts.
No, that sounds like a yeast infection.
Yeah, you got some kind of lotritis.
Yeah, you say magma?
Magma.
Okay. Because I was thinking like it was like, you know, white hot magma.
If you don't know what smegma is, kids, Google it now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
How many
I'm not
assholes?
very bright.
Okay. Let's wheel this in again. Let's retract
I
and bring
got a
this back
question.
to a real conspiracy talk. For any of the diehards out there, let's just say, Epic, are you in or out that our government will or will not put some shit in your food or let you digest things to let certain things happen? Just like how, like, I won't mention the company, but there's certain chemicals that are in certain mac and cheeses that you're not allowed to put anywhere else except in America. And they're known to cause cancer.
Mm-hmm. So you think the government's allowing us to get cancer by letting these companies put this stuff in?
Encouraging us to get cancer, some might say.
I would say that as long as it's cheaper and there's a buck in it, they don't care if the common person.
I think that's more what it is. I would say that it's just big corporations trying to get more dollars out of shit and paying the government to kind of look the other way. as opposed to a bigger conspiracy of they're like just trying to kill everyone. Because honestly, they wouldn't make. They make money. They make more money off the poor people than they do the rich people. I mean, and that's
you're
true. We buy everything.
Don't pay taxes as it should be.
Well, you're expendable. First off, like there's always another poor person to replace a poor person. Everyone knows that. We multiply fast.
What the fuck is Marco doing?
I coughed and I
not rocket out in your own place.
No, you dick. I coughed and I didn't want to fucking make it all loud on the goddamn
Looked like
air.
You were blowing snot out your nose, man.
No, I do not. Not inside the house.
But it don't have to be a giant conspiracy theory for it to be a conspiracy that these lobbyists have too much control.
I agree with that. I agree that. I think lobbyists need to be outlawed, to be honest with you.
Yes. And I think we as conspiracy theorists, if we can start with just the basics, things that people can agree upon, then you can walk them in to some of the more, how do you say, like you take them from a white belt to a yellow belt. You know what I mean?
I'm going to ask you.
You're starting to sound like Donald Trump.
So, I guess I'm going to ask you guys a question real quick. Any of you flat earthers?
I went down that rabbit hole, and all I can say is my
you hit an ice wall.
No, man, like that part, it didn't really land with me. But whenever you start into the gravity and the density argument of the whole situation, dude, I start to lose myself a little bit in that because a lot of the things they say, it's like, yeah, you're right, that does just prove density.
I recently joined a flat earth group on Facebook, and let me tell you, I can only look at that for so long before my mind starts to melt a little bit. Like seriously, like there are some plausible
arguments,
but they get lost in all the craziness.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If that makes sense, like I can't get on board with the giant tortoise. Like I can't do that shit. I can't. We're not on the back of a giant tortoise. How the fuck would that thing eat and breathe? Just saying. Like
how does the flat?
Wasn't that Gamera on Chinese?
You want to know
what is some of the plausible things that you know about flat Earth theory? I'm dying to hear this. Share it with the audience in case they don't know what flat Earth theory is.
Well, flat Earth theory is just basically the theory that the Earth is a disc and not a ball. That there's a huge ice wall that surrounds the flat Earth to keep us from falling off the edge that nobody has seen, apparently.
So what you're telling me is it's completely foolish. Just as I suspected. You're telling me it's completely foolish?
I think so. I think it's foolish. There's definitely more things that disprove flat Earth than prove flat Earth.
Okay, time out right there. Spike, you said there are things that melt your mind and make you think that they're plausible. You mentioned plausible too. Talk about that. What do you got?
Well, the one thing. Sorry.
Time out, guest.
Sure.
Spike and Marco were both saying there were plausible things that melted their mind when you're talking about it. I'd like to hear where they're coming from.
Okay.
I like the gravity argument on it, man. Like the whole helium balloon thing. If gravity is a force that's enacted upon us and it's holding everything down at the same rate, right? Whenever you put helium into a balloon, the balloon becomes lighter than air, so it's able to float. Well, if that's an outside force that's acting upon something, holding it down, it doesn't matter that the helium in the balloon is lighter than air. That just proves density, not gravity. And that concept right there, my mind can grasp, especially if you can think of like how a washer machine works. And when it hits spin cycle and spins everything off of it, dude, it fucked with my mind for days. And then I went down a deeper vacuum of if the sun is in space and space itself is a vacuum, first off, why don't the rays of the sun keep anything in space warm? How is the vacuum sucking all of that, including the light out, until it makes contact with the surface. And that's when I realized I'm not a fucking scientist. And I need to quit going down that rabbit hole.
It's not just about contact with the surface. Our atmosphere is what keeps the Earth warm. With no atmosphere, we wouldn't be this warm.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the moon and look at Mars and all that stuff. They don't have atmosphere. It's
but then
very,
again,
very
look at
cold.
Mercury and Venus, much close enough to be hot,
Yeah,
but still very little to no atmosphere. Not there's an
but they're basically on fire. So like, there's no
and their atmosphere like so much methane and such.
Yeah, but it's maintaining a lot of methane gas and staying on fire in a theoretical vacuum.
Well, the gas itself is
You're in a fucking vacuum, Epic. Think about it. It's insane.
But it's not
That's
an
one
open
thing you
flame.
need for fire. You need air.
but it's
You're
not
in a vacuum. You just said there's no atmosphere around it. There you go. There's your mind burner. Full fucking circle, people. See how I work? I'm 3 steps ahead of these motherfuckers every time. That's why the government shuts us down when we're just short of the truth.
Now you do understand.
Easier.
You do understand this one. Now I work with oxygen. Okay, oxygen isn't the but listen. So oxygen isn't the only thing that could create. In fact, if you do work with oxygen, you realize that oxygen's not flammable. It's an oxidizer, which means it just makes a flame hotter and brighter. Right?
I thought we all worked with it. Like, I'm breathing now.
I actually work with oxygen. I
was joking. Epic,
I got you, but I do. But so it could burn in space without oxygen as long as it's the right gas that's burning. Look at the sun.
Correct. That's the mind melter of it all. As none of it makes any fucking sense.
I
thought I just explained it, but I guess I didn't.
None of it makes any fucking sense.
Here's an easier one for you. Here's an easier one. Just look up at the sky. We've all looked up at the sky. We've all looked up at the sun and the moon at one point in time in our lives. And we've all seen clouds in front of the moon and the sun. And we've all seen clouds behind the moon and the sun.
I've never seen a cloud behind the sun or moon. No.
Go outside and look right now.
How does a radar work? Here's a good one.
And just the fact that you can't see clouds behind and in front, there shouldn't be no clouds in space.
There's no clouds in space.
Did you ever see a cloud behind the moon?
I've seen them all the time.
How does a radar work?
Hey, shit.
I don't know. You got to look at the Tesla's papers for the radar.
How does a radar work? Whenever you see those ships and they shoot sonar and radar, right? The curvature of the Earth would only allow it to go so far before the radar would trace off, and the same thing with the sonar.
And it does.
It's a
but also a lot of the radar towers are tall.
This is true. I'm not a flat earther, by the way.
I know. I'm just saying
some of the things
like they're tall, so they go over the curve. like, yeah, there's relays. You know,
like it's one of it's some of those things. Whatever. Like these are the things that they throw at you. Where you're like, huh? I don't know.
No, and I'm one of the guys that will look at that, and I'm like, oh wow, that's an interesting point. Let me dive a little deeper into this and find out the science behind both of these theories, and then I decide for myself which one I think is full of shit, if that makes sense.
I think gravity is
what this whole show's about.
Yeah.
I think gravity.
It's about goofing off and having fun. And we talk about conspiracies. That's really the base of it. But
yeah.
We're just talking.
Now, what about the theory that we are all aliens, that we inhabited this planet from another planet?
What is that? Transpermization or trans? There's some kind of word for that.
Like
transpermia.
Scientology.
What's that?
Scientology.
Jesus Christ.
No, there's no Jesus in Scientology. It's L. Ron Hubbard, man. Get it right.
Whoever.
I mean, he was a pretty powerful pedophile / Nazi / tied into the right people, author, religious writer.
We didn't bring
movie
it
maker.
up. We didn't bring it up.
He was a man. He was a man of many hats.
You didn't have to talk with him.
No, he didn't go overboard.
Epic and I got to talk. What the fuck?
Do you know who I am? Okay. So moving on. I don't know, man. That one seems just as far-fetched.
A lot of people are falling on with that one though. That one's gaining a lot of traction these days.
Yeah,
The reason you see them the way they are is because they're coming from the past. Like there's a theory that the reason the Titanic sunk
is because it hit the
so
ice
many
wall.
people from the future flipped in to watch it sink that they capsized the boat and made it sink.
What the fuck?
Yes, it's an insane theory. I agree. I didn't say I believed it. I'm saying people are crazy.
I do believe in, like the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
I do believe in that. Now, I do believe that they invented time travel in the future and that occasionally they come back and they mess with some stuff and it changes time. You know what I mean?
Where do you stand on Hollow Earth?
Hollow Earth? No, I don't believe in that. No.
What about the dome?
The dome, no.
The dome goes back into the flat Earth.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't believe in the dome. Because, I mean, honestly, if you're going to believe in all that shit, then you would believe in flat Earth. Because, I mean, honestly, think about this. When did they build the fucking dome? Like when dinosaurs were here? Like what the like?
It was before 80.
One of those.
What's that?
It was before 85. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think it was it had to be at least in the 60s.
Dome. Yeah. What's that?
So
real.
Have you
ever
ever
man-made construct?
Have you ever experimented with psychedelics?
Me, no. I wish I did.
I have.
It's never too late to start, Epic.
Dude, I've been wanting mushrooms to do that, and I can't find anybody with mushrooms, so I guess I'm out of luck. Wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? Anyways,
has anyone else here done it and seen the grid?
I've seen part of the grid doing DMT.
The grid, explain that.
It's what you experience on DMT before you break through to the tunnel of color and you meet whoever you're going to meet on the other side.
Are you talking about OD?
No. You gotta. It's like you gotta do DMT to understand. Yeah, it's. I'm one of the 11% that ain't allowed to break through the wall, apparently. But I've seen the grid. I've watched my buddies do DMT and my son even, and they did what they had to do. But the grid is kind of awesome. It's a little freaky at first, but you know, it's compared
you have to elaborate a little bit more on this grid because I'm intrigued. I want to find out. Like, are you talking about it's a physical grid? Like,
it's what it looks like, dude. Like it's almost like a prism of color. You know what I'm saying? It's almost pretty. Like if you picture like a triangulated grid in like a fucking like Avengers type movie.
You're talking about like the 80s style, like.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
translucent, like rainbowish.
Would it be like Pink Floyd type shit? You know what I mean? Like,
no,
you know, like album covers.
No,
you know what I mean? Like
different.
No, different.
That's like a grid. It's like a neon grid. At least that's what I saw.
Yeah, it lines out like it's gridded, dude.
Huh?
It's like you're walking through like an old maybe a DOS fucking computer like game.
You said Old Navy?
Old like, DOS.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like an Old Navy commercial because they are kind of freaky.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's hard to explain, but once you make it out through it, it's almost like you're looking into something else.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you know, well, they say a lot of times that we only use like 30% of our brain, and that when you're on psychedelics, it can unlock other things, and maybe you are seeing something that like another dimension. You think something like that?
I don't know. I like to subscribe to the theory that we use 100% just at different points in times. You know what I mean? It's like a computer, man. The more you try to load all at once, the slower your computer works. But we plug and play different things and actions at times. Like if you're playing basketball, you're
thinking like different parts of your brain are like the RAM.
Yeah, kind of. Like if you're playing basketball, dude, you're not fucking doing a math test at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're in the middle of a war, you're not filing your taxes. Like you plug and play different parts of your brain to the situation needed. That's why it's sectioned off. And different parts control different emotions and things like that.
Well, I mean, that's obviously true, but like, because they,
yeah, I'm just
they can tell you all that, but like, they, but they also say that like there's a lot of other sections that they can't figure out what they do, but obviously,
Pornhub
they did something. Yeah, more than likely Pornhub. It's all porn. Yeah. I'd say we use 30% of our brain for like good things, and then the rest of it, the other 70%, is just porn.
Yeah, pretty much.
Monkey brain, right?
Yeah.
Or ape
lizard.
brain.
It's lizard. It's the lizard.
Lizard brains. There you go.
Mike, you got anything?
What's going on with your background, homie?
Yeah, shit on this, Mike.
But mine?
All kind of crazy to me.
It says cuckoo.
I've done a lot of psychedelics. A lot of psychedelics. And I've seen some things.
I've seen it.
I've never seen through to the other side. But LSD experience is very different than the mushroom experience.
Yes it is.
Yes.
It's a lot more of a visual thing, whereas the mushrooms are a much more visceral mental thing.
All three of them are very different.
I felt on mushrooms on multiple occasions, like in my meditative state. I was about to uncover one of the deepest secrets of the universe. But I never did. I was just high as hell. And I enjoyed it. It was fun every time. Except for the one time I thought everyone was out to get me, and I thought I was going to have to kill my way out of a party. That's a story for another day.
Wow.
I have one for you. When I was a younger man, I took what Terrence McKenna refers to as a heroic dose of psilocybin. And as I laid there, I don't know if anyone's ever experienced it. It settles on you almost in like a wave of not a heavy color like a LSD or something would, or like the movies show it. It's like a very subtle, almost like pastel, depending on the colors around you and the walls and the sunlight you're letting in the room.
The music thing too.
For those of you also that are new to any of that, turn off your electronics. Believe me, it helps. And you just let it kind of wash on you. And dude, it was a very feminine presence, right? But it shifted gears on me, and the motherfucker, like, it became very aggressive at one point. And what I remember about the whole thing is, like, I hit that point in it where, like, I was frightened at first, and then I hit the, like, well, fuck it, come at me, bro. And then it backed off, and everything fucking mellowed out, and I got to enjoy it. And I felt different about myself afterwards.
I gotta say something. Are you sure you're not like mixing up a memory of your childhood with maybe your uncle's basement or something like that? That didn't sound like a fucking trip at all to me. That sounded pretty.
Well, no, because I went about this different than like you would in high school with 4 of your buddies in the back of your fucking Buick, Marco.
You just said it came upon you, and it was real feminine at first, then it got aggressive, and it brought me over, and I just said, "Fuck it, I'll take it."
He said, "I saw you taking a big ass shit to the toilet."
I would say in the moments of my life, it's definitely in the top 3 most spiritual moments I've ever had as an Irish.
That's how the altar boys feel.
Oh my god. Fucking Marco, bro.
An Irish Catholic altar boy. It wasn't his uncle. It was a fucking priest.
Join us next Friday when we talk to W. Scott Ween about a very weird new conspiracy thought about Amazon. Before we leave, Spike, you going to be anywhere anytime soon?
I don't know. Marco's a fucking beaner.
Marco, you going to be anywhere anytime soon?
I'm everywhere, man. Check out Eargasm Comedy Showcase. Check out Upside Down Studios. Check out One Joke at a Time. Check us all out.
And watch Marco do bench presses in his front yard. Fuck you. I'm throwing in another slur then. And pick fruit at some migrant farm.
My papers are better than yours.
Where do they find you again?
Me. You'll catch me Sunday on the Epic Radio Show at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter live at the Epic Radio Show.
And Seminole.
Always, you can never not find me at www.michaelcopenhavercomedian.com. That's our show. We're about to go off the air and have
Thank you guys.
Hash some shit out. We'll see you next week. We'll see you tomorrow morning for One Joke at a Time.
Thank you guys for having me.
One joke at a time.
Anytime.